Hello, this is Mr. Atherall. This is video 2 about Macbeth. I accidentally said that I'd got to the end of Act 1 in my previous video, but actually there's a few more scenes in Act 1, but it's a very long act, so I couldn't fit it all into one video. So we're going to carry on talking about Act 1 for a little bit. So I ended on Act 1, Scene 4 last time. Just encourage you, if you haven't watched that first video, watch them in order so that you're going through the plot in order and making sense of it. So we're into Act 1, Scene 5. Act 1, Scene 5 is Lady Macbeth receiving the letter from Macbeth, which has got news of the prophecies from the witches. And we get a soliloquy from Lady Macbeth. And that soliloquy is a massive moment in the play, really important moment in the play. When we consider Lady Macbeth, we want to think about context in the fact that she is subverting ideas of male and female power. She's going against masculine authority and becoming a powerful woman. Now, don't say when you write in your exam that all women were housewives and that women had no power, because that's not true. In very recent history, when this play was on the stage, there were a few female queens. So it's not true that no women have power, but it is true that men often had power over women, and Lady Macbeth having power over her husband subverts that idea. So her soliloquy is important in terms of context, because one of the things she talks about is the fact that she wants to lose her femininity. She wants that to be taken away from her. She also wants to be consumed by demonic powers. So again, what I've said about witchcraft is relevant again here. The belief in the power of evil spirits was a massive thing in the Jacobean era, and something that you want to consider when writing and considering Macbeth. She wants to be evil, she wants to be powerful, and she also is going to encourage Macbeth to be two-faced when she finally meets him. So some of the things she says in her soliloquy. So the best quote, I think, for the losing of her femininity is, "Unsex me here and fill me from the crown to the toe, top full with direst cruelty." So she's inviting the evil spirits here to take away her gender. So it's not literally that she wants to become a man, but she wants to lose the qualities and the characteristics associated with femininity: gentleness, kindness, meekness. She wants to become powerful, and the thing she wants is direst cruelty. I am happy to be cruel. That's what I want to be consumed by. She then invites, "Come thick night and pull thee in the dunnest smoke of hell." I want to be covered with this hellish smoke. That's what I want to cover, to consume me, and also to shield suspicion and hide the things I'm about to do. Macbeth then turns up, they have a conversation, and she's got some instructions from Macbeth. Now remember, Macbeth is kind of unsure. He has been dreaming about the murder of King Duncan, but the last thing he said is that he might just leave it to chance. Lady Macbeth is not someone to leave it to chance. She leads him, she coerces him, she manipulates him. Lots of things we can talk about Lady Macbeth here. She tells him, "Your hand, your tongue look like the innocent flower." So that's what she wants him to look like something very positive, but be the serpent under it. Lovely metaphors to zoom in on there. To zoom in on what's an innocent flower, what does that look like, and what does a serpent look like? The serpent, again, is an interesting contextual point, where there's the serpent in the Garden of Eden, in the Bible story. So we might make reference to that she's encouraging him to be the devil, to be devilish in his attitudes and behaviours. Basically, she wants him to kill the king, which is coming up soon. So we then go to Act 1, Scene 6. Duncan turns up at the castle. He's going to stay the night with the Macbeths, and pretty short scene. One important thing that Lady Macbeth says here, she says to him, "All our service in every point, twice done, and then done double." So she's telling Duncan that we've put in double the effort in terms of how nice we've made our castle because you're coming to stay. But that phrase "done double" is a nice one to remember. The plosive alliteration, so the double D's, have got a kind of sense of power over them, and to do someone double is to double cross them, perhaps. That's what's inferred there, and that's us as an audience. There's dramatic irony there because we know that is the plan, to deal double, to go against the king. That's what's about to happen. So Act 1, Scene 6, Duncan gets welcomed. What he's actually doing is arriving to sleep for the last time. Okay, Act 1, Scene 7. So Macbeth again is full of doubts. He is a character that is struggling with the immorality of what he's doing. He has a conscience, and he can't cope with the idea of killing the king. And on his own, my conclusion is that he wouldn't kill the king. So as he ponders, again, we've got another soliloquy. If I kill the king, it will plague the inventor. So I will be plagued. I will be the inventor of his death, and I will be plagued. My conscience will be plagued as a result, which is what happens to him. That the plague, really interesting one to zoom in on and talk about connotations. He talks about becoming king will be a poisoned chalice. So a chalice is something that's positive. It's the cup that you drink from when you're taking bread and wine in church, but it's going to be poisoned. It's not going to be a positive experience. It's going to be power and authority, but a poisoned version of it. So he recognises that. He says, I've got double trust. The king double trusts me. He thinks I'm an amazing bloke at the moment. And I've got that, and that's a good thing, and I don't want to lose that. If people know what I've done, it would be a horrid deed in every eye. I have no spur. He says I have no spur, which means he's got no motivation to do this. He is not persuaded in any way that this is something that I want to do. So at this point, it seems like he's not. Lady Macbeth comes back. She's obviously wants him to do it, and she challenges him. She manipulates him again. Wouldst thou live a coward? Challenges his masculinity, challenges his courage, which he's known for. He's just fought in this big battle. Wouldst thou live a coward? Rhetorical question, and she fills. There's a barrage of rhetorical questions as she asks this. Then you were a man. That's when he was willing to kill the king. Then you were a man. That's when you had the courage and bravery. Now, you're not a man. Remembering that subverting of roles is happening again here, isn't it? And then an incredibly grim image that she gives, where she describes her willingness to do violence, and she uses the image of a child. There's this idea lurking in the background that perhaps they had a child that died. I have given suck and know how tender it is to love the babe that milks me. I would, while it was smiling in my face, have plucked my nipple from his boneless gums and dashed the brains out. That's what she would have done if she was committed to a violent act. She would be willing to commit this extreme violence against a baby. A horrific image of her villainy and her willingness to commit violence. Screw your courage to the sticking post. Lots of great quotes there, lots of really good things that she says that manipulate Macbeth into thinking that, I'm going to have to do this. And that actually is the end of Act 1.